Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I am back with a paranormal update because I've been having a lot of messages from some of you guys and you want to know what happened next in this house. So before we get started, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and share the love. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I will quickly remind you. So just here on the kitchen was a broken glass. And it exploded. Don't know why. I was in the other room when it happened, and I came out, and it was just like sort of like the base left here, and the glass just decided to start jumping around. Now, a lot of people were like, "Wow, that is insane," and there was also a lot of people that were like, "It's probably just science or something or other," which, you know, you could be right. I mean, to myself, I'm thinking all the time, am I going crazy? But there was a lot of stuff that happened before I started filming that day. There was like a lot more pieces of glass randomly jumping off the counter and onto the floor. They weren't breaking apart, they were just jumping and moving by themselves and going on the floor, which is why I ran to grab my camera to record what was happening, and I honestly thought it was just going to stop when I started recording, which it did. However, we did catch one or two pieces moving. So since that incident, a lot more stuff has been happening. Now, I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time, but I've been really busy on the Wentworth Life YouTube channel. But in a way, I'm kind of glad that it's taken me this long to make the video, because some real scary stuff has been happening, and I'm not even joking. Last night something happened, and this morning something happened. So I'm really glad that I kind of waited to give you this big update. So get yourselves comfy, guys, because I'm going to talk you through everything that's been going on. Right then, guys, so I've got a book of notes here because so much has happened. And the weirdest thing of all right now is the camera that I'm being filmed on right now just pressed record by itself, which is weird. It's never done that before. So yeah, basically I just set up the camera, I've sat myself down, I've got myself a nice cup of coffee, and I went up and then it started recording. It's never done it before. I have nothing in settings to, like, I don't know, blink twice or whatever, because I know you can do things with your hands or whatever to make it record. So basically, yeah, the ghost is here with us now, whatever it is, because it just pressed record. I think the ghost is enjoying being a YouTube star, maybe. Anyway, so the glass broke in my last video, as you all saw. I was freaking out. I was home alone. I'd never experienced anything like that before. I've experienced, like, I've seen something in the corner of my eye, but I've never experienced something like that happening in front of me. Now, something that Peter reminded me of that day, he came home from work that evening, and obviously I'd cleaned the glass away, and he'd seen the video and he thought it was awesome. He reminded me of something that happened the day before, which I completely forgot about. So we've got 4 cats, and we've got one who is only, he's nearly 1, so he's still only a baby. Anyway, me and Peter were in this living room. This is my chair, Peter sits over there. We are literally just in here watching TV, like we do every evening if we don't go out. If we're having a night in, we're sitting here in front of the TV watching the soaps. Then all of a sudden, we hear like, sort of like, I don't know, like sort of like banging noises, but not like loud banging, like something is stuck in a cardboard box sort of noise. Do you know what I mean? So I went in there, and the kitten Jacko, we basically, you know, one of those cat boxes, cat carriers, when you take the cat to the vets. Well, we had one of those loaned to us when we moved home from Peter's parents. That cat carrier was on top of a big cardboard box, because we've got a cardboard box out there with a lawnmower inside it. So I thought that's where Jacko was. But no, he was somehow inside the cat carrier box, and the door was closed and locked, and he couldn't get out, and that's what the noise was. It was him like banging to try and get out of the box. But how did he get in there in the first place? The box was already locked. So somehow he got into an already locked box and locked himself in there. I have no idea what happened. So that happened the day before the glass smashed, and poor Jacko, he was a little bit shaken up, and we were like, oh, what have you done? But I didn't think anything of that until Peter reminded me of it, so I don't know whether if that has something to do with the spirits here, I don't know. Now, the morning after of the glass break-in, me and Peter were rudely awoken at about 6 a.m. by the fire alarms going off. So Peter jumps out of bed and he's running around the bedrooms and he runs downstairs and he's making sure that there isn't a fire. Me, I'm just like, oh, what's going on? Like, I'm just not doing anything about it. I'm just kind of lying in bed hoping for the best. But the fire alarm goes off for about 10 seconds and then it stops. So Peter came upstairs and I said, do you think it might be the ghost? Because that's never happened before. Talking of fire alarms, something really weird happened about 2 weeks after that, and I could hear a fire alarm going off. Again, this is quite early in the morning, but it wasn't ours, it was next door's. Who lives there? But nobody was living there at that time. They've only recently moved in, our neighbours. But their fire alarm went off, again, for about 10 seconds and then went off. So this has got me thinking. So we've been told by the people who built these properties that the whole land, there's about 16 houses here, all in like a nice big square, you know, nice and posh, nice, neat and tidy, but the whole area used to be a big nursing home. Now, I can remember when we were signing documents and the lady was telling us this, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if we'll get any like sort of haunted activities going on. It's always been in the back of my mind that there could literally be spirits where all our houses are. So I don't think our house is specifically haunted. I think it's like, it could be a row of houses. Something really weird, something else that's happening is we've got the spotlight, the security spotlight that comes on when somebody's walking in the back garden. So of all the houses next door and that next door, well, all the lights keep coming on simultaneously. I can't even say that word, but you know what I mean. But yeah, they go on, then go off when there's nothing there. When there's no wind, they go off on their own. And it's almost as like, I was saying to Peter the other day, it's almost as if like, must be like somebody walking back and forth. So I don't think this house is specifically haunted. I think it could be a row of houses. Maybe all of the houses are haunted. I don't know. So after my last video, I did say that I was going to set up a security camera. And I'll show you the security camera. I'm sure I've got it right here. So this is our little security camera. It's a Netamo. Now, some of you may recognise it, some of you may not. I got it through my old job and I paid for it like out of my monthly salary. This I've had since in the flat where I used to live before I met Peter, and it always works. It works completely fine. There's no damage to it. It's very hard to damage. That's literally it. You just stick it on and connect it to the internet and you're good to go. It connects to your phone, see, so everything records to your phone. So I set this up in the kitchen to see if we could catch anything. Now, it was working fine. In fact, I may have some footage which I may insert here now just to prove to you that the camera is working. As you can see, there is me sitting on the worktop, playing on my phone, checking that the camera is working. So everything's fine. It keeps picking up when there's cats in there and all that is fine. Then, when it's time for me and Peter to go upstairs to bed, turn all the lights off downstairs, the camera malfunctions. It's never done that before, the whole time I've had it. It just malfunctions. It keeps saying that there's the wrong power adapter, even though it's the same power adapter that's been plugged in all day. So I fix it. I basically unplug it, plug it back in. I then go back upstairs, and I'm back upstairs. All of a sudden, memory card error. Why is there a memory card error? It's been working fine all day. It hasn't ran out of memory or anything. It's a huge memory card, and I made sure I wiped it before I put it in on this house. But about 4 or 5 times I kept coming downstairs to the kitchen to try and sort this out, and every time I got it working, I'd go back upstairs. The minute I got back into bed, because we like to watch TV in bed, my phone buzzes saying the camera has malfunctioned, or the memory card has malfunctioned, or the power adapter isn't strong enough. And it's like, it is strong enough because it's been working all day. So I remember the first night we tried to set this up, I went to bed and I thought, I'll deal with this in the morning. I get up in the morning, the camera's working. The camera's working. The minute we get downstairs, the camera's back on. And this happened 3 nights in a row. So the camera was working all day. It didn't pick anything up in the day, but as soon as we went to bed in the night, the camera kept malfunctioning. to the point where I gave up. I just thought, well, it's not working. It's going to be nighttime when spooky things are going on, clearly, because whatever's in there doesn't want to be recorded. It's tampering with the camera. So we've been trying to record stuff, but it just ain't happening. But I can remember one evening, I've been sitting here, Peter's sitting on his sofa, and Peter's closer to the kitchen door. Let me just quickly show you. See? Pete's sofa, kitchen door. So we're watching TV, don't know what we're watching. I think I'm a little bit sleepy, but we hear a noise from in there. And I look up at Peter and I said, "Did you just hear that?" And he went, "Yeah, it sounded like someone sneezing." And I couldn't work out what the noise was. Like I said, I think I was half awake, half asleep. It was quite late in the night, but Peter's closer to the door and he's convinced it sounded like a man sneezing. Whatever the noise was, it was loud and it caught my attention, and all cats were in this room with us, like they always are. They never leave our side. In the evenings, it's me, Peter, and the cats. They've all got their spots. You can see we got Shithead there, we got Ruby there, Madam is in the kitchen right now, and we got Buddy, who basically likes to live outside. So very recently, I've noticed that sometimes when I go in the kitchen, sometimes when me and Peter go out shopping for food or whatever, we go shopping, and we come home, and we go into the kitchen, and it smells like fags, like cigarettes, but nobody smokes. Me and Peter don't smoke. I'm on the vape, but I don't smoke fags. They don't smoke. Even if they did, they wouldn't be in the back garden. The weather, we're in winter, so. But the kitchen smells like a very strong aroma. It doesn't smell like someone's been in the kitchen smoking. It's just like a strong fag cigarette aroma, which doesn't last very long, because as soon as you smell it, within about a minute or two, the smell's gone. So it's like when we leave the house, but we come back and we go into the kitchen to unload our shopping, straight away I can smell fag smell. And it's not all the time, it's now and again, but when I do smell it, it just reminds me of, oh, that smell is back. It just smells like cigarettes. It's really, really weird. And this just makes me think that if it is an old nursing home that used to be on this land, then a lot of the older generation did smoke, didn't they? Other weird things that are happening are these two cats behind me. So they just keep, basically, they're there, they're here, but every so often they do this. Wee! They just do that. But as Peter demonstrated earlier, you can bang that pillow, it ain't gonna move. It's tilted quite far back. Yeah, they keep falling like that while I'm sitting here. And again, it's been happening for quite a while, but it isn't until the last maybe fortnight I thought to myself, what is making these pillows move? There was, about 3 weeks ago, there was actually quite an alarming thing that happened. We still don't know what happened, but me and Peter, once again, downstairs watching TV in the evening. It wasn't that late, it was about 8 o'clock maybe, but we both heard a massive bang coming from the room above us, which is our main bedroom. It's the front bedroom of the house. But it was a big bang, and it felt like it came right above us, and it felt like it was coming from like the window, you know, the front end of the house. So me and Peter just sort of looked at each other and said, what was that? So we both kind of like sheepishly got up and creeped up the stairs just to see, you know, what's going on. I honestly thought maybe our curtain rail had fallen or something like that. We hadn't put it up properly. Maybe it fell, you know, these things happen. But we got upstairs, nothing had been moved to my knowledge. I couldn't see anything that had been moved. Nothing had fallen off the wall. The curtains were still there. The photos were still on the wall. The shelves were still up. So nothing had broken or fallen, but there was a massive bang, and it came directly above us. Didn't come from next door. At that time, they hadn't moved in. They were not living there. They've literally only been living there about a week and a half. And even then, these are quite soundproof. I don't hear them. It's very, very rare. At the rare occasion, I might hear their washing machine when it's on its final spin. But apart from that, I don't even hear their TV. These are very well soundproofed houses. That sound came from upstairs. Now, the most spookiest thing that happened yesterday, okay? So I'm going to take you on a little journey, actually. So let me just flip this around. So I'm sitting here now, yeah, and I decided to go into the kitchen. So let's reenact what happened. So I come into the kitchen. Oh, there's all my cats. Well, 2 of them. And just there, do you see where the bin is and the welcome sign? As I'm here, just through the door, right there, I thought I saw a face. And it was as far back as where the bin is. So it was like sort of like about that big. But I thought I saw a face looking right at me. But it was literally as quick as a blink. It was there 1 minute, literally just gone. And I thought to myself, maybe my eyes are just playing up with me, maybe. Anyway, I then walked here and I went to look in the cupboard, but then I quickly turned and then it was really dark now, so you could see the reflection of the kitchen through that glass. Right here, in this part of the glass, you can see the fridge freezer. And obviously I'm like here. But something white, about as big as the fridge freezer, if not bigger, and it was in the shape of a circle, moved very quickly, like as fast as that. It just vanished. And I felt very uneasy. I felt really, really uneasy. This happened yesterday at about... It was about 4:30, 5 o'clock. No, actually I lie. It was about 5:30 because I was just about to get myself ready and meet Peter at the train station. So I was home alone, but it was pitch black and obviously you can see the reflection. So that's what happened. I then proceeded to go back into this living room and sit down in my chair. As I'm sitting down in my chair, I'm looking at the corner there. Like literally, this is the view I had yesterday. And in this doorway, it felt like something was there in the doorway. Not only that, on the door itself, it felt like there was just like every so often a very light shadow up around here. Just it would just be there and then it would move. But I felt like something was in the doorway the whole time. Really hard to explain, but that's what I felt. But things get really spookier, guys, because last night, this happened yesterday evening. I went and picked Petey up from the train station and we came home and I completely forgot about it. We went to bed then at about 10:30, I think it was. And we get into bed and we do what we always do. We turn the TV on and we'll put something on for an hour. There was a documentary on last night that I wanted to watch, but before we turned the TV on, we always tend to chat about whatever, things that come back to you. Do you know what I mean? And I remembered, obviously, the face and the white thing that I thought I saw. So I decided to tell Peter. So I told Peter the story that I told you. I told him I went into the kitchen and then for a moment, I thought I saw a face looking right at me. Peter then stopped me in conversation. Do you know why? And this is the God's honest truth. Peter turns round and says, wow, the other night I went into the kitchen and I thought I saw a face looking at me. He then told me, or asked me, did you see the face above the food bin? And I said, yes, that's exactly where I thought I saw a face. And he said that's exactly the same face that he saw, but on a different night. I think it was Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Now, he put it down to being tired because he hasn't been very well recently. He's caught the flu. He doesn't have COVID. We've been tested. He's just got the dreaded cold. But he put it down to that. His eyes just going funny. But how mad that I'm upstairs last night telling him the story. He stops me mid-convo and basically finishes the story because he had exactly the same experience. A face looking back at him. That gave me goosebumps last night. I was like, what the hell? However, Peter did say it didn't scare him. It didn't freak him out. He said it looked like a nice, kind face. As quick as it was there, it was gone. But he remembers seeing the face a bit more than me. And he said that it didn't scare him. It really, really didn't. So we've both seen something now in the kitchen this last week at different nights, different times. So I feel like that this spirit or spirits that keeps maybe coming into this house every now and again, like I said, I don't think it's just our house. I think it could be a row of houses. But I feel like it's starting to maybe, like, not so much communicate with us, but seems to be more relaxed maybe now, because like I said, me and Peter have both seen a face in the kitchen, which sounds very scary, because it sounds scary when I say it, but I think I don't feel threatened by it, and neither does Peter. Not at the moment anyway. I know whatever it was may or may not have smashed that glass that day, but I don't know. I don't feel threatened by it at all. Now, this morning, something even more weird happened. So I woke up, well, beg your pardon, Peter woke up, went to work, as in he went into his office upstairs. I woke up, I had a little bit of a headache, so I came downstairs and I made myself a glass of water and a coffee standard, which, by the way, I forgot I've got coffee. Anyway, so I'm just going to quickly show you the windows. So these are our windows, and there's blinds and curtains. So we always have the blinds like that. You know, they come down to the top of the plant, and we like to have a little gap where the plant is shown, and it makes the front of the house look really nice, to be fair. But whenever we go to bed, or if we leave the house, I don't touch the blinds, but I will close the curtains so nobody can see in. Now that is standard for us, that's just automatic. So when I woke up this morning, I came down, I thought, oh, it's time to open the curtains. So I opened this one like I always do. Everything was fine. We then opened this one. This wasn't so much fine. This blind wasn't there. It was like up here. I'm actually going to insert a photo now. So as you can see, guys, one of the blinds has been raised a lot higher than the other one. But these aren't like expensive blinds or easy blinds to like sort of pull up straight. If you look in the photo, it's been pulled up and it's quite straight. But I didn't do it. I asked Peter this morning, he didn't do it, and it certainly wasn't the cats. The cats all sleep in the kitchen now. We did used to have the kitten in this room overnight, but that's only because Frankie hadn't had the snip yet. She was in heat a lot of the time, and she was craving for you-know-what. But we've had her done now. She had her operation about 3-4 weeks ago. So they can now all stay in the kitchen together, which makes life so much easier. So there's nothing in this room to pull that blind up. Now, I can remember going to bed last night and closing those curtains, and those blinds were as they are now, pretty much with just a square, so the plant is showing through. So what the hell? Put the blind up? Can anybody answer me that question? It's so bizarre. Like, I'm not even joking, guys. I've even gone in my attic just to make sure that there's no homeless person living in our attic, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos over the years. So yeah, there's a lot of spooky stuff going on, but that blind, that's the first time something creepy has happened in this room. Everything has more or less happened in the kitchen, apart from that loud bang that we still don't know what it was. Everything has happened in the kitchen, but now the blind obviously was lifted, and I'll show you what happens if I quickly switch it. So to pull up this blind, guys, it's not easy, because you've got to put it at an angle. I don't know if you can see, but you've got to put it at an angle. And if you don't put it at an angle, it's just going to go all the way down. So I don't understand how it got lifted completely by itself. So yeah, there's a lot of spooky stuff that's been going on in this house. But like I said, things happen. Like, obviously, something happened this morning, something happened last night. And obviously, me and Peter both saw a face in the kitchen on different nights. But then we can go like a week or a week and a half without anything happening. So it's very, very strange, and it's very, very weird, but we don't feel threatened by it. Not at the moment anyway. Now, I'd really love to try and pick something up on camera. Like, if only we had a camera in this room last night, overnight, recording what was going on with that blind, we could have caught something quite amazing on camera. So, I don't know. The security camera is not working for whatever reason. Something is tampering with it. However, we do have Peter's dash cam, which we can plug into a lead here and just set it up. So I'm going to try doing something with that. It's just a matter of Will we pick something up straight away, or is it going to take us a long time? Because obviously things just seem to happen on the off chance at the moment, but they keep happening. It's just catching that right moment. So leave it with me and Peter, and we will see what we can do. Also, just before I leave you go, Peter even said to me this morning, he doesn't normally believe in this sort of thing. He's not very much into ghosts or spirits or any beliefs. I mean, he's got a bit of an open mind about it, but he doesn't really believe in it. He's more of a cynic. But this, he told me this morning, has opened his eyes, which is just amazing. So, there we are, guys. That is the full update. I don't think I've missed anything out. We're going to be putting our Christmas decorations up this weekend. Don't judge me or Peter, because our Christmas decorations are just in a cupboard upstairs. We moved in, obviously, about 2 months ago, and it didn't seem like there was no point in shoving it all up into the attic just to climb up to bring them back down 2 months later. So we decided to keep them in the cupboard, and we thought we'll bring them out early this year. So I've got a feeling with all the Christmas decorations and all the Christmas lights, that could set things off. But anyway, guys, that is our paranormal update. We're going to try very, very hard to try and catch something on camera. Leave it with us. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. So thank you all for watching. Have a nice weekend, whatever you're up to, and we will hopefully see you soon.